Welcome. This is the kickoff of the Polishing My Life 60-day challenge. We are starting here. It is June the 1st, 2020, and we are going to be talking about all kinds of fantastic things in this transformative season of our life, okay? If you were here, you might have found me on the Essential Oils Revolution, which was a summit that aired all last week, and there was an encore over the weekend. So welcome if you're brand new. We're going to get started, and I love this quote that Dr. Z used in the book. It says, "You can't have a physical transformation until you have a spiritual one." That's a quote by Cory Booker. Now, I love this quote because this transformation is of your whole body. It is not just of, it's not just a diet. This is a lifestyle, and that includes your mindset, that includes your spirituality, that includes everything. And until you get your mindset and your spiritual life aligned with what your goals are, you're not going to be as successful in a transformation like what we're going to be going through as you would if you do have that in order. So Dr. Z and I, we are both, our faith is in Christ. We're Christians, and we welcome anybody of any faith, but we will be talking about our faith. And so with that being said, I want to lead into one of my favorite verses that Dr. Z also uses in the book, and it is John 10:10. "The thief comes only to steal and kill and destroy. I come that they may have life and have it abundantly." And so if you're following Dr. Z, or if you've been following me, we talk about having an abundant life all the time. We talk about an essential lifestyle all the time. And so I love this verse because as you're working through having an abundant life and working towards our purpose and what we were created for, a lot of times we'll have a pushback from the enemy. We'll have walls put up. We'll have things that happen that we don't quite understand. But I urge you to realize that that is a spiritual attack in most cases. So let me just tell you who I am and a little bit about myself, because we are going to be hanging out together for quite a bit. All right. So I'm Tina Cecila. I live in Central Alabama with my husband of 25 years this September. We live on a hobby farm. So we have Nigerian dwarf dairy goats. We're not currently milking anybody right now. We're just kind of taking a break from that. But we have chickens for fresh eggs. We're kind of talking about maybe getting chickens for meat. And we are growing a vegetable garden. Now, right now, it's just a lot of squash and zucchini and a couple of tomato plants, but we are going to be adding to it as the season goes along. I do have some squash that I'm going to be picking today, and I'm pretty excited about it. So I have been working from home for 6 years, which is a blessing, especially in the climate that we've been in. At the time of this live broadcast, we have been quarantined since March, and it's June 1st. And so a lot of people have had to learn to work from home, to homeschool their children, which we have done in the past. We homeschooled our 2 girls for 6 years. Speaking of my 2 precious daughters, you'll see that family photo above me. My daughter Natalie is married to our son-in-law Logan, and our daughter Morgan is she's a sophomore now. She just finished her freshman year in college, and she's a collegiate athlete. She plays volleyball. So our life is full. We travel quite a bit. We travel with Morgan Sports to watch her on the court, both on the sand court, outdoors and indoors. And we love being able to just pick up and travel. So we have a full life. In the past, I worked in the salon industry. My mom was a hairstylist of, oh gosh, I don't even know, over 50 years. I'm 52. And as long as I can remember, she was a hairstylist. She just retired. She was talking about retiring before the quarantine, and then she got a good taste of what that would be like. So she decided she wasn't going to go back to work, and I'm super proud of her. But I went into the family business and became a nail technician, and I did nails for nearly 30 years. So in my job as a nail technician, I had exposure to a lot of chemicals that most people only get exposed to once or twice a month in the salon. But with me, it was every day, well, 5 days a week. And it was a lot of exposure. And I was a manufacturer's rep. And from what we were taught, the chemicals were safe. I worked through both of my pregnancies doing nails. I had healthy babies. So, I was like, hey, it's fine. I've had 2 girls. Everything's fine. But it wasn't until I was 45 years old that I had some severe inflammation, and my joints just hurt all the time. My feet, especially. I would get out of the bed in the morning and my feet felt like pins and needles sticking through them, and not in a like small prick kind of way. It was like metal rods going through my feet. I started seeing a doctor. I thought maybe I had a stress fracture. I mean, we live on a farm, we're always active, and so I just assumed I had hurt myself. She did x-rays, she did all kinds of tests. There was nothing wrong. She encouraged me to have an ANA blood panel. That's your autoimmune blood panel. And so at my next appointment, I had my doctor do that. And lo and behold, it was a positive autoimmune test. Well, at that point, there was not a whole lot of further information. I had more and more blood tests that would rule out serious things like rheumatoid arthritis, lupus, some of the things that were really scary, MS. But when you have a positive ANA blood test and you have a negative everything else that they know to check for, they just kind of go, well, you have fibromyalgia. Well, as a nail professional and as an employer, I had plenty of employees and clients over the years that suffered with fibromyalgia, and they suffered greatly. And I remember thinking, gosh, they can't even live a normal life. Like, they would call at the last minute and cancel their nail appointment because fibromyalgia. They would call and tell me, I can't come to work today because fibromyalgia. And I just sat back and said, no, I don't want to be that person. I am the middle child of 3. My older sister was born with some challenges, and she has cerebral palsy. And she has been on a lot of medication over the years, many of which are addictive. And then my little brother, at 17, wrecked a car, broke his back, and he became addicted to pain medication. He spent most of his adult life in a cycle of prescription medication, and then alcohol mixed with that, and then street illicit drugs. He eventually became homeless, off and on. He went through every rehab. He got a divorce, never had children, but in 2013, in November of 2013, he vanished. And we know that he was murdered, but we've never found his remains. And that's just the sad truth of some of this dark world in the world of street drugs and addiction. So I don't think there's any home, any family that's immune to this pain and this torment of addiction. But when my doctor said, you have fibromyalgia, and he just started literally peeling off the prescription pad and said, yeah, you're going to need all of these, and just let me know when you need refills. Well, I looked at the titles of the medications and I knew these are addictive, and I could not be that other child of my parents that would succumb to an addictive issue. And so I just began to pray. I asked the Lord, please, what is this inflammation? I talked to you about the feet, but I also had hot spots in my ankles, my knees, my hips, my neck. I had issues with frozen shoulders, and I thought it was from doing nails because, you're holding your client's hand and you're filing, buffing, and polishing with the other, and you're just out of alignment a lot. So I saw a chiropractor a lot, but I also had sinus issues chronically, sinus allergies, had a lot of gut issues, gut pain. I had a nervous stomach. It's what my mom called it, basically, where, you just have like an abdominal migraine, and then you'd have to visit the bathroom quite a bit because your stools would be so loose. You couldn't hold it in. And so I had, when my oldest daughter was 6 months old, I had to go to the emergency room with abdominal pain. And it had lasted for several days. Literally, it was hurting from like my esophagus all the way to my rectum. And nothing I could do at home was helping. So the doctor said, I think I know exactly what's wrong with you. You have a spastic colon. And he mixed up some lidocaine and Mylanta type cocktail, and I drank it, and I felt 100% better instantly. And I began, just tiptoeing into a natural, like, how do I take care of my body? But I never went full in until this fibromyalgia diagnosis. And then I was like, okay, Lord, I give up. Something I'm doing, I've got to change this way I'm living. Working full time, drive-through meals, that was a common thing for us. It was, hey babe, what do you want me to pick up on the way home? We cooked, but when we cooked, I live in Alabama. So when we cook, we fry everything, and we have biscuits and gravy on the weekends. I mean, it was just this Southern way of eating. And I started learning. So with my prayer and with just my own research, I started finding ways to heal my body naturally. I started learning about what's wrong with the standard American diet. We watched a lot of documentaries on YouTube, on Netflix, just wherever we were learning. And at the time, we were homeschooling our children. So it worked great as just education for the family. Would sit down and learn. And I remember my daughters going to the pantry and opening it up and pulling something out and reading the label and tossing it in the trash. Like, we're done with that. And so it was a family effort for us to learn these things. We decided to start keeping Nigerian dwarf dairy goats so that we would have raw, fresh milk. We love animals. We already had chickens for fresh eggs, and we were learning about the additives in commercial milk and dairy. And we just decided, hey, let's get goats. Daddy will finally let us have goats on the farm if we're using them for milk. And so we got them. We learned to milk. We learned to make cheese. I mean, we were, living the farm life, right? Well, my friend that was mentoring me on how to take care of goats said, if you really want to take care of these goats, you're going to need some holistic type things to help them stay well. As a former breastfeeding mom, I knew that whatever I ate would be excreted through the milk. If I took medications, I couldn't nurse. So it was common knowledge for me to know that if I give my goats medications for whatever might be an issue, whether it's parasites or an infection or, whatever, that's going to be excreted into the milk. And so this mentor of mine taught me to research vet meds and vet options of natural remedies. So I bought a book on livestock herbal care and started really learning about herbal medicine. And 2 days after my book arrived from Amazon and I was reading it and writing a list, my friend 2 doors down asked me if I'd like to go to an essential oils class. And I said, absolutely. So I went to the class, grabbed my book, had my list, and we walked in, and there were about 300 people in this class. And I'm looking around going, wow, I didn't expect so many people to be here. And do all these people have goats? Why are these people here? That was my first immersion opportunity to really understand what people were doing with essential oils therapeutically. Now, in the salon, as a nail professional, I would buy a big bottle, like 4-ounce bottle of peppermint or lavender, and I would add it to our towel warmer or to the pedicure water because it smelled nice and it kind of overcame some of the odors of the traditional, products that we used on nails with acrylics and nail polish. All that smells terrible. So that was my only experience with essential oils. Now, I later learned that those big bottles that I was buying were just simply synthetic perfumes. They weren't real therapeutic essential oils. So I'm laying the groundwork for you here so you'll know 7 years ago, last month in May, I was a newbie. I had no idea what any of this was about. And so here I am. I'm still learning. I don't know it all. So I just want you to know that I'm not a doctor. I'm not a nurse. I'm not even a health coach. I'm just a person who has been through a transformation and has had extreme success. And God has really shown me what my purpose is through that. I have stepped into opportunities that I never knew existed. So once we became immersed into the essential oil world, we became part of a company, and I'm a distributor. And so you'll hear me talking about that. But it's not my focus, okay? So my focus is that we are providing you with the education, the encouragement, the support, the community, all of the things that you may be looking for in support as you go through a self-guided discovery of transformation. And I say self-guided because that's what this is. When I took control of my health, when I said, okay, Lord, I'm done. I don't want these addictive medications. I don't want to go down that path. What else is there? Have you had that conversation with your Father? Have you looked at what is available to you? Where are you in this process? Where are you in your own personal discovery? If you're just starting, I'm going to be kind of blunt with you and tell you it's up to you. There's no secret sauce. There's no secret pill. There's no fad diet. There's not even an essential oil that's going to transform you. You have to do it. You have to set the mindset. You have to align spiritually and step into what is possible for your body. I can tell you, I had no idea. At 45 years old, I felt like I was 90. Now I feel better than I did at 20. And I have energy and I have an abundant life. And I want that for you. Okay. So as we go through this, I want you to know that I'm going to be a cheerleader for you. I'm going to be giving you information, but I want you to do your own research. We love this book. We love Dr. Z and Sabrina, and we align with so many things that they say and do and recommend. I will have some separate opinions that are simply my opinions. They are things that I have done, that I have researched, and that I have found to be useful. And I encourage you to take what you learn from Dr. Z and Sabrina, take what you learn from me, from other members of this community, and do your own research and discover what is possible for you. Okay. All right. So going back to this salon work, let me just kind of interject a little humor here because we have been in quarantine. And if you saw my picture in the summit, I may not look the same. Number one, because I decided last year to let my artificial hair color grow off. So almost all of this is my natural color. I just have a little bit of color like on the very ends of my hair. Plus, I have a lot of hair and it grows really fast. And I have not had a haircut since January. So look at this. Like I'm to the point that it's like, okay, the painful, awkward moment of growing your hair out is done for me. So I am like taking suggestions. Do I go and grow it out or do I cut it all off? Now I have a couple of weeks, so y'all send me pictures if you find some that you think are great, that you think would be good for me. I need it to be fast and easy because our lifestyle. And so I have an appointment on the 17th with a brand new hairstylist. My mom retired. And another hairstylist that I had been using off and on, a friend of my daughter's, decided to go full time in another business. And so she's not doing hair either. So I was like, oh gosh. Yeah, my hair is kind of all over the place, but I think you can all relate. Now, that being said, my body's kind of taken a little hit too from this quarantine. You know, we all stocked up on shelf stable food so that we could not have to go out and expose ourselves to whatever the news was talking about. And so I did kind of fall off the wagon. In January, we started the 60-day challenge, and we did the whole 60-day challenge. We lost 35 pounds between my husband and I, and a whole lot of inches. I've got the numbers somewhere. I don't have them in front of me right now. But we, of course, started cooking and eating some of that shelf-stable food, and it's not good for you. We'll be talking about that in great detail. So, the world as we know it has been just changing so rapidly, and it is my opinion that we need to be stronger than ever before. If you've been watching the news, and I think most people have, there's just so much turmoil. There's so much going on, so much negativity. I can tell you that personally, I've just chosen to unplug 99% of the time. I am on social media all the time. That's where my business is. But I pretty much hang out in private groups. I don't get involved in a lot of discussion on the internet because you know what? It's painful. So you're going to need your mind and your soul to be very strong in the coming future. We don't know what the future holds, but we know who holds our future. And I know that whatever is on the horizon, the stronger we are, the healthier we are, the more we can handle those things. I was not afraid one bit of any kind of infection during this quarantine. I'm not going to say that I had some secret oil blend, but I know that my body and my immune system is stronger than ever before because of the lifestyle that I've been living for 7 years. So I would encourage you, if there's any reason you're looking for doing this transformative plan, the 60-day challenge, just know that we're going to be working on our gut. We're going to be working on a lot of things within our body. And when we do that, our immune system is going to grow stronger than ever. And that, my friends, is one of the main reasons why you should be doing this. Yesterday, I'll be honest with you, I was watching the news last night, and our own town, my own hometown of Birmingham, became violent. And I was thinking, wow, Lord, how do I just go put on a happy face and say, yay, it's time for the 60-day challenge, everybody. Let's hop in and do this, when the world is so heavy. But God is so faithful, and He has shown me that this is the temple. In the Old Testament, there was a temple that people would go to. But in the New Testament, the Holy Spirit, this is our temple. We are to take care of this so that we can be strong, so that we can be stepping out into our purpose. In America, we have so much wrong with the food and the medicines and the pill for every ill mentality that there are a lot of people who are addicted. They're morbidly obese. They are miserable. They have comorbid conditions, a lot of metabolic syndrome issues. And those are the things that we know have affected the ones who did succumb to the infectious situation in our quarantine. So we know science shows when we take care of this, we can do better. Okay. When we know better, we can do better. So if there's any reason you're looking for jumping into the 60-day challenge, do it because we don't know what the future holds. And we know we need to be strong in our physical body, our mental, our emotions, and our spirit. Okay. So let's get into talking about what you need to be doing right now. All right. Number one, you need that book. You need the Essential Oils Diet. It is on Amazon. You can get it in bookstores if your bookstores are open. You can also get the Audible version. I have both, and let me tell you, I love both. Because when I'm working around the house, painting ceilings like I was yesterday in my kitchen, I can put in my earbuds and I can listen to Dr. Z and Sabrina talk about the essential oil diet on my Audible app. However, this book is full of recipes, and I like to go through here and tab it up, as you see, and bookmark and go and find the things that I want to look at when I'm making my meals. And so it reads like a cookbook in a lot of ways, and you want the printed version. Now, Dr. Z thought of that. In the Audible version, there is, I think it's a 105-page download, a PDF, and you can choose to print it out. But that download contains all the good stuff, all the things, okay? The shopping list, the meal plans, the recipes, the essential oil blends and recipes, all of it, okay? So you've got that to fall back on. So you've got to have the book, and you've got to have some essential oils. Now, I'll just be honest with you. The first class I went to was a class for Young Living. I joined, and I'm a Young Living distributor. We have been super blessed in our business, and right now we have about 6,000 members globally. And our rank is Diamond, and we lead a big group of people. But that's not what this group is about. This group has friends of mine from other companies in it, and I want to always be respectful of you guys. But I also will be making recommendations of what I use. Now, throughout the book, we're going to be ingesting essential oils. And that's a super important point I want to talk about, because that's one of the ones that people are like, I don't know. I mean, I like the way it makes my house smell when I turn on my diffuser, but I don't know if I'm supposed to eat that stuff. Well, that's where you really need to know the type of oils you're using. Now, the essential oil industry is huge. It has grown by leaps and bounds. It is a trend. You cannot get on Instagram. You cannot get on Pinterest. You can't go through Facebook without seeing some essential oil recipe. And as an entrepreneur and a business owner of all my adult life, I can tell you, I recognize the reason why companies are jumping on the bandwagon. They see the purchasing trends of people, and they go, oh, well, me too. We can create that. We'll create that, and they'll buy from us because it's a trend, right? Of course. So that's why you go in stores like TJ Maxx. You go in Home Goods, even Bed Bath & Beyond, Home Depot, Lowe's. All of these stores are selling essential oils. But friends, don't be fooled like I was in the salon business when I was buying big old bottles of oil, and they were really just perfume. Okay, so you've got smell good, synthetic, maybe 5% of a pure plant extract in that blend that are not meant for what we're applying oils therapeutically in this 60-day challenge. We're going to be ingesting oils. I had my matcha latte this morning in my Be Well cup. I try to surround myself with statements, statements that I'm reminded I'm drinking this because I want to be well. So my matcha latte this morning had a drop of cinnamon and a drop of peppermint in it. I made a half a recipe, by the way. So I've already ingested oils this morning. I took a capsule of some other oils that I'm taking as part of my wellness regimen. So we're going to be taking oils internally, or we're going to be talking about it. So if you're interested in that, make sure that you know the source of your oils and that they are food grade dietary supplement essential oils, therapeutic essential oils. All right. Like I said, I'm with Young Living. We have an entire line of vitality oils. They're all dietary supplements. That's what I ingest. I use our supplements, and those also have an infusion of essential oils. And so I know, based on the seed to seal that Young Living has, that they are tested, third-party tested, that they are fully vetted, and safe for internal consumption. So don't worry about it. All right. So you're going to need some essential oils. We're going to be diffusing. We're going to be applying topically. And like I said, we're going to be taking them dietarily. So today I'm diffusing a blend called Transformation. This blend smells amazing, but I love it. And in fact, I anointed the pages of my book with it because transformation is what we're doing. Now, let me read to you from, this is the Essential Oils Pocket Reference book. This is published by Life Science Publishing. And this is the 8th edition on page 142. It says, under transformation, repressed trauma and tragedy from the past may be out of sight, but they are definitely not out of mind. Memories are imprinted in our cells for better or for worse. Stored negative emotions need to be replaced with joy, hope, courage, and other positive emotions. Transformation Blend radiates the purifying oils of lemon and peppermint, along with the revitalizing power of sesquiterpenes from sandalwood and frankincense, Idaho blue spruce, anchors new mental programming. Reaching into the deepest recesses of memory, transformation empowers and upholds the changes you want to make in your belief system. Positive, uplifting beliefs are foundational for the transformation of behavior. You see why I love that? We are going through so much transformation, and it does start with our emotions. So the ingredients in this, just in case you wanted to try to duplicate that, are lemon, peppermint, royal Hawaiian sandalwood, clary sage, sacred frankincense, Idaho blue spruce, cardamom, ocotea, and palo santo. So this is an oil that you would apply topically. And for emotions, I like to apply it over the tops of the ears where the emotional vital flakes are. I like to inhale it just straight out of the bottle. That's why I anointed the pages of my book. I like to diffuse it in my diffuser. So when we're talking about inhalation of essential oils and emotions, you will have an activation in your limbic system of your brain where the emotions are seated, and you will have a shift in your mindset, a shift in your attitude and your behavior. And Dr. Z even has some wonderful recommendations in here about diffusing when you have cravings. We'll be talking about that. We'll see them in the book, okay? So you're gonna need some essential oils. You're gonna see too that this book, even though it's called the Essential Oils Diet, it's really a lifestyle. And it's so much more than just essential oils. It's food that we're gonna be breaking down, okay? So we have some favorite things that we use. Stevia is going to be used quite a bit. It's your replacement sweetener right now, and I will drop a link for the brand that Dr. Z and Mama Z recommends. It's called Kal, K-A-L, and I actually need to order some more right now. I'm getting very low on the vanilla flavor. It's natural vanilla and 100% organic stevia. Now, I've had several questions in the last challenge that we've done. Why stevia? Well, number one, it's a good, healthy sweetener, and some of us still need some kind of flavor enhancer, and stevia is a good option. Organic stevia, of course, and this Kal brand is a good brand. So stevia also acts as an emulsifier. So right here in my big pink cup, I have the essential water concentrate. Now I will post the recipe. It's also in the book. But the stevia acts as an emulsifier when you're making your essential oil water concentrate. It holds the oils immersed in the water instead of it all floating to the top. So that's another reason why we use stevia. Now in the essential oil concentrated water, there's not a whole lot of stevia in it. It's just enough to keep the oil suspended, and it's not sweet. But in the matcha latte, mine was very sweet this morning, okay? All right, so we're going to be moving our body. If you are someone that has been very sedentary, like medically speaking or physically challenged, I know there's been some people in here that have had some surgeries on limbs and they've been immobilized. If you are in that condition, then you will wait on what we will be recommending as exercise. For the rest of us, we're going to start out with 2 miles a day, just walking. You don't have to run, just walk, stroll, just walk. If you're already exercising, then just keep that up. You might want to step up your routine, maybe increase your intensity or whatever. You may already have control over that, and that's fine. What I think the type of person that we are speaking to is the person that has not included a regular exercise regimen at all. And I was that way. So no judgment there. We have enjoyed our walks. We have been doing 2 and 3 and 4 mile walks. We've been riding our bikes. And so whatever you choose. But also, anytime you're increasing your exercise, you want to make sure that you are physically able to do that. Don't overdo it, okay? Talk to your healthcare provider. Make sure that you're okay with increasing exercise. So some people, it might be that their goal on movement for the day would be to stand up out of their chair and walk to their front door and back. That would be a huge goal for some people. And if that's you, you go. I'm rooting you on. I'm cheering you on. Okay. You will get stronger and stronger as you go, and we will be cheering you on. All right. So here's a lifestyle tip that I wanted to share with you, because I've been working from home for 6 years and I had to learn the hard way to put pants on. It's so easy to just put on your pajama pants or your knit shorts or your yoga pants and work in those all day long. But when you go to put your jeans on, then you realize, ugh, these tighter than they used to be. So I learned a long time ago to regularly put on jeans and wear them whether I'm going anywhere or not. I'm comfortable. I'm in yoga pants right now, but I get dressed every day, all the way down to my shoes, my earrings, my makeup, regardless of where I'm going, if I'm going anywhere or if I'm staying at home. If you've been in this quarantine and you have lost the habit of taking care of yourself, please take that up right now. Go back to it. Go get a shower. Put on your makeup if you're a makeup wearer. Do your hair. Whatever makes you feel pretty or handsome, do it, because that does so much for your mindset. I remember about 3 weeks into the quarantine, my sweet mama, she said, hey, I'm down. I'm not feeling good. I'm just emotionally, I'm drained. I'm sad. I'm really, really sad. And she was crying, and that broke my heart because I couldn't go visit her. She's 75 years old and she's been a smoker for 50 years. So she's in that high risk category. So I told her, I said, Mom, when's the last time you got a shower, washed your hair, styled it, put on makeup, and your cute clothes? She couldn't remember. And so she texted me later that day a picture of herself, all dressed up, so cute, hair done, makeup, lipstick, everything, earrings, all done. And she felt great. She said, thank you for telling me that, because I feel great. My sadness is gone. So in this time of quarantine, if you haven't been taking the time to do those things because you're new at staying at home, go ahead and do it. It's going to be a lifestyle tip that's going to help you to overcome some of the emotional sadness and emotional turmoil. Also, turn off the TV, please. Just turn it off. Assign a family member to check in every now and then just to kind of see what's going on. I have alerts. I have apps from local news stations with alerts on my phone. They're free. You can download those if you need to know information, weather updates. There's weather apps for that are free. You'll get an alert. I get an alert every now and then. Heavy rain has been detected in your area. Okay, it's going to rain. But by turning off the news, turning off the TV, finding something constructive to do, doing this transformation, the 60-day challenge, exercising, learning these recipes, making grocery lists, cleaning out your pantry of some of the things that shouldn't be there anymore, you're going to stay busy and your mindset is going to be so much healthier, so much healthier. So I wanted to come in here today and just spend some time talking to you. I know I've been talking for about 45 minutes now, and I want to wrap it up. But I'm here for you. If you are watching this video after it's been recorded, make sure that you're in the Polishing My Life Facebook group. I'm going to be sending out emails later today, and I want to make sure that if you're watching this replay, that you know where to find what we're doing and where to be a part of the community. You can also follow me on Polishing My Life on Instagram. My Facebook name is Tina Daly Cecila, and that, my daughter's calling. Let me just decline that. I'll call her back. Tina Daly Cecila on Facebook. You can follow me there. That's where if I'm on Facebook, that's my timeline. You can follow me there, and also on Instagram, I'm Tina Cecila. So I have 2 Instagram accounts. I've kind of let the Polishing My Life lay dormant during the quarantine because we have been so busy. Just the last 3 months have been record-breaking months at our company. And as a leader of a large organization, we have been busy because people are waking up. They want healthy products in their home. We've had record enrollments, record reactivations, record sales. And so I had to kind of segue away from my project at Polishing My Life and back into spending most of my time with my organization. So I'm back. We're still busy, but I've kind of gotten into the groove of how things are going to work. And I think we've all done that. We've all had to feel our way like, what is this day going to look like? Is it going to be different than yesterday? And is it going to be different than tomorrow? And each day has brought its own things that we've had to learn to do. And so I finally feel like I'm back in a groove of knowing what to expect. That being said, we live in a world of unexpected. So, pray up, oil up, protect your heart, guard your heart as you move through this. Let me also just close with this. I'm serious now. You need to hear me. You've made a decision to do something phenomenal with your body, and you are going to succeed. That makes the enemy very unhappy. And I have seen time and time again when people decide, hey, I'm going to increase my spiritual life. I'm going to live a healthier life. I'm going to be doing these steps to take care of me. Attacks happen. So pray up, oil up, be ready for that enemy's attack. Just like John 10:10 says, the enemy has come to steal and kill and destroy. But Christ has come to give you a life of abundance, a life of full life, okay? So focus on the good. Not today, Satan. Get behind me, devil. Rebuke the enemy. But you can expect those attacks, okay? Just be ready and be mindful, and you can overcome it. You will. Philippians 4:13 says, I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength. That is a verse that you can meditate on every day and know that you're going to succeed at this. Okay, so before I go to, I need to tell you, you need to take your measurements. You need to take your weight. So step on a scale, write that down, and take your measurements. You're going to measure your arms, the top of your thighs. You're going to measure across your bust, women. Men, you're going to measure across your chest. You're going to measure your waist. So, find your waist and measure that, and then measure across your bum. You just take a cloth measuring tape, okay, and write all that down. Get yourself a journal, something really simple. I like this one. I love Ray Dunn. Get it done. Write down the date. Write down how you're feeling. Journal. Write down some scriptures. Write down some prayers. But write down your weight and write down your measurements, because we're going to be tracking that. Those are going to be those true measurable results that we're going to be able to see the success that you've had. You can see some of the previous challenge participants that have already posted how much weight and inches they've lost and where they've changed their life. And I'm so proud of every single one of them. And I cannot wait to celebrate you guys too. So I'll be back, but I want to wrap this up, and please introduce yourself. Let us know where you're coming from, what your goals are. Let's get to know each other. All right. Y'all have a great day, and we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.